It's Chris and Brian here from Resolve Technology. And today, Chris wanted to talk about some of the data governance surrounding Microsoft 365 Copilot, the AI tool that Microsoft is heavily promoting. So basically, the 365 Copilot uses AI within the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. So basically, searches across things like Microsoft Word, Excel, different apps within the Microsoft 365 cloud. So you can see where it's very useful for gathering information and dissecting information. But one of the problems from the get-go, and I think we talked about this in one or two old videos when we introduced Copilot, was, hey, look, how are you going to control where the data is going? How are you going to govern the data? Like when people start getting in there and start playing around with it, what kind of controls does he have over intellectual property and sensitive data getting out to other companies? So Chris, maybe you could shed some light on this new company. We knew this was coming. You saw this new company called Prompt Security, and what is it that they do to help with this data governance?
So they have some tool here, some security and governance solution for Copilot for Microsoft 365. So that's the generative AI features, whether it be using it in Outlook with that $300 license we talked about, or the Windows in general, like Copilot on Windows here, like when I launched Copilot itself. It looks like there's an agent right here. It shows this little diagram, employee, and then it shows an agent, and it can block access to sensitive data per user group, redact sensitive data to prevent leaks, moderate content, block inappropriate responses, and that's on the Windows OS, and native desktop and web apps for Outlook, Word, Excel. So both the native desktop clients and the web app version of it. So this is like on the OS level for Copilot and Copilot for Microsoft 365. I don't know much about the tool, but I foresee even spam filtering solutions have shadow IT. Check in, are people logging into portals like OpenAI or Google portals on their work computer, and it might showcase some of that. I think we're going to see more of those. Maybe even the Microsoft, like Avanon, for example, might incorporate something like this in the future with data governance with Copilot. But this is just the beginning. But it looks like it's an agent, like a service installed on Windows, just from what I see here, right? Because if it's also affecting the Windows OS, how is it going to communicate? There's going to be some kind of agent, right? And then it's probably going to hook into the Microsoft 365 or something. There's going to be something that, if it can control this many layers, there's probably multiple moving pieces.
Yeah, cool. So it looks like there is some agent. Now, I don't know if it says it in the article, but based on the picture, it looks like the agent either runs as a separate piece of software on the client workstation, the employee's workstation, or it could potentially run in the cloud somewhere through an API or something.
I think it's both. They're mentioning an agent, but they didn't give us much details on the agent, but it does show the Office apps and the Windows OS. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work, but maybe a combination of both, a Windows agent, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this company and see. We'll look to see what else is out there too. And if we find stuff like this, we'll share it, because this is questions we get from clients that have started to use AI in there. We just mentioned this different security problems with security, and we don't always have answers for them, or at least we don't have easy answers. And so, some of these tools that Microsoft seems to be behind on, like governance, third parties step up. This is what happens with, they fill the void, and then either Microsoft buys them out and incorporates it into their product, or they just incorporate it without buying the company. You know what I mean? But you got to do something in terms of governance. Okay, thanks for bringing that to our attention, Chris.
All right.